Hey everyone, welcome back to my crafting studio. Today we're going to walk through the new catalog. If we can finally share it with you today, get it on the camera there. And I'm also going to share with you the new online exclusives and go through those. I've spent some time doing some sampling of product, so I have quite a few samples to share with you. So I'm going to share that as we walk through the catalog, and I'll show you some of the things that I've learned while working with the product. So I'm going to run that intro, and I'm going to turn the camera around and we will get started. Looking forward to it. Before we get too much into the catalog, or catalogs, I should say, I wanted to share something with you that's now available over on my my website. Excuse me. My website is papercraftpossibilities.net. That's my personal website. And over there, I've added some new things to my website, and they are some paper samples. And you'll see here, I have some of the older colors in here just to keep them in here, and you can take them off if you want, if you order these. And I also have all the new colors. So this is available. It comes in alphabetical order. They're all stamped. Hopefully you can see that with the name. It's not stamped, it's actually printed on there with the name of the color of the cardstock. And this is the one-tone cardstock you'll see. And then also there's a deck available that is the two-tone colors. So those are available over on my website. Once again, papercraftpossibilities.net. At the top, you'll see a tab that says shop. And then if you do a drop down, just click on that. And then underneath it, you'll see paper samples. And that's where you'll find this. You'll find the two-tone color stock. And then here are paper samples. And this is all from the new catalog that I'm going to share with you today and the online exclusives, including the specialty paper. So this is your glitter. Here you go. And you get a 4x6 sample, and I staple it on the far sides here. And that way you can go ahead and use this piece on various projects. And then up here, well, I got to put on my glasses. It will always tell you the item number, the size that it comes in, which catalog it was in, how many sheets. Like this one was 6 sheets, 2 each of 3 colors. And I think that's it on that one. So there's that. I'm missing two or three that I'm waiting on the company to deliver. But every paper that is in the collection is sampled here. So you can see that. And you can order these in that same area that I just told you about where it says paper samples. This is one of my favorites, toile. I used to use toile all the time when I was doing decorating. So you get the drift there. So, and then if there is, these are all the 12 by 12 papers. And the one that, the ones that I'm waiting on, I believe are also 12 by 12. And then if they're sitting 6x6 papers, I sample them in just the 6x6 size. I don't cut them down. And so here is one that is coming out today too. So you can find that over there. So what I wanted to do first is go through my online exclusives. And this, they were kind enough, the company, Stampin Up, to give us a little bit more user-friendly to share with you, and the formatting of it is. So I will have this on my website tomorrow. Well, I'm recording this the day before this all goes live, so as I was saying, tomorrow I will make sure to have this up on my website, which is the day that this video will post. So let's get started. So this is the online exclusive 2025 in September. And this is the first collection. This is called Gathering Together. Now, I did not get the whole suite, but I did get the twine, the dots, and the paper. And I do have I think I have one sample to share with you. Bear with me. Here's my sample. So I used a stamp from another collection. I did use these dots here, and it's hard to see, I'm sorry, but they've got some gold going through them. This gold paper here I used out of the annual catalog. This paper right here is in this collection. And I used the stamp, like I said, from another collection, which we'll get to. I've stamped this with Early Espresso, which is the paper I've used here. Had I thought about it, I would think I would go back and I would stamp this in Early Espresso. Then I would go back and then I would emboss this, heat emboss it with some clear embossing powder. And the reason why is I think that would really help that pop with the, it would give you a raised surface, and when you clear emboss, it really makes that ink pop. So one change I'd make there. And here's the twine here. Then this pops up, and here is this. This is from the rub-ons, which I believe is in the annual catalog. What I'm gonna do too is each day after this airs is I'm gonna put each one of these on my website one day at a time. So you can go through and look at everything I've used for these and order if it's something that you like. And you'll notice the reason why I used a lot of gold is there's some gold in this paper back here. And that goes over like that, and that goes like that. So that is number one. So that is Gathering Together Sweet Collection. And of course, there's things we out order and then I'm thinking, I really regret not having it. This I regret not ordering. The thing that I did order on here, and I haven't really gotten into using it, well, I've been practicing with it, is this one. And I think I have a page coming up with these, so we'll have to see. So these are, I'll just look on here to save time, Gathering Moments dies. Here's the other die, or it's a die and stamp. It's a red rubber stamp that I used on this, so it's Amber Autumn. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, definitely one of my favorites. Right before I took my dive onto the floor, I had created this page, and let me pull out the paper so you can see just the little snippets I have over here. And the reason why I personally like it's definitely a personal reason, is both my children, both of my children went to high school where the colors are black and gold. So I'm going to be using quite a bit of this in their scrapbooks. But, there's obviously things in here that are Christmas. Obviously, there is holly, I believe. Holly, yeah. And there's some ornaments, but quite a few of these things I can use that are just, it could go for their high school. So let me pull out the sample that I have for that. Here is that sample. So it's called Modern Christmas. These are, we'll get to it in one of the catalogs that we get to. These are some pop-outs in the gold foiling. They actually are a sticker, but I've chosen to lift it up and rise it up on some foam dots. This here is just a punch out from, I used my punching things, and I took this out of the paper. These are a new collection from this Christmas. I think when we get to them, they're not on this page. You'll see those. This is from, I'm gonna try and remember this name of this. Everyone calls these the paper plate dies. So I'll get to it, I'll remember. Okay, so this one pops up, and I did do this in the same color, and then there's that. And I think I'm gonna go back and do some more of the gold rub-ons here. I think that would be really good. And here's some more of those stickers that have an adhesive back to them, and I use those on here. And if you go back, I think it's one video, you will see the page I did for my son, who was involved in, he was a lead trumpet. Anyways, you'll see here that I use these big gold rings, and these are big. I'm sure you've seen people talking about these. I just wanted to pull them out. I think I'm gonna make another card where I can float like an ornament on the inside of it and have it stay there while someone opens the card. It's hard to explain, but I will make a card with this. But I use these on that page where my son is standing there with a trumpet. You'll see that. All right. I do have this stamp. I'm not sure I've used that yet. I've been doing a lot of making the last couple days now that I'm feeling a little bit better. This one is very confusing and I wanted to explain it to you. Again, this is one of the papers I'm waiting on. This is a snowflake, obviously, and here's some more of it. But then there's another one that is out there, and I will show that to you when you get to it and when we get to it. I don't want you to confuse them, so just make sure when you're ordering. This one's called Delicate Pines. So you'll see the other one when you get to it, and we'll talk about it. This one I did order, and I haven't made anything up because I think I'm going to make a scrapbook out of this one because my granddaughter and I love to cook together. She likes to cook with her grandpa too. So we have quite a few pictures where I'll be able to use this. And I do have the stamps and dies in that. So look for that scrapbook page, I should say. This pumpkin is very intriguing to me. I might go back and order it. It's very much a watercolor look to it. So that one's kind of on my radar. This right here, there's another animal one that we're going to talk about here in a minute that has dogs and cats and many other animals in the paper and in the stamps. This one would go hand in hand with it, but I decided to go with the other one, and I think it fits my needs better. And then we have some trees. I didn't order this one, and I didn't order this one. The only reason why I didn't order this one is because I have quite a few Christmas trees that I'd ordered last year when I had just come over from close to my heart to Stampin' Up, and I ordered every tree they had. So I just didn't have a need for that. And then this one, I'm not sure I use this on any of my samples, but here is this, and I also have the stamps that go with it. And there's various things here that you could use. I don't know if you can see it, Merry and Bright, Happy New Year, Trick or Treat, Be Sweet, Season of Thanks, or you could just do thanks on there and just block off of and then do that. So very usable throughout the season. And I mean, you could stamp your sentiment anywhere and cut this out. So this is definitely just an easy peasy when you need to get a quick sentiment out. I would highly suggest having this in your stash in your craft room. Okay, let's see. Can you tell I was trying to use one of my punches? This paper right here is like velvet. I do have it. I'm looking to use it, and I'm kind of questioning a few things. So I'm working on it, and we'll talk about it once I get going. This right here is a workshop that I did order, and let me show you what I've got going on there. I stuck with the scrapbook directions from the company, I think for one page, and then I drifted. I was in the middle of doing a live, which, again, I am not good at, guys. I am so sorry. I keep trying and things happening, so I'm not going to do that anymore, for the most part. But I'll show you which pages, the two pages, which is one page setup, if you will, or one design, which ones came from the company. So this is one I wanted to do with my husband and I a couple years ago. Well, actually, it was probably like 5 years ago at a pumpkin farm. Actually, yeah, because it would have been during the pandemic. Can you see that? And here I use the large alphabet that we have. Again, I will list this on my website. I just realized I forgot to erase my lines there that I draw with my T-ruler to make sure everything's straight. This actually was the bottom of a strawberry here, and then this came in as an alternative in one of my paper pumpkin kits. So that worked out beautifully right there. Here is the pumpkin stamp that I had told you about earlier, which is the red rubber stamp. And here are those leaves I had shown to you. And then these sequins are from last season. And here are some more of those leaves. This is a paper that was from that workshop. And this was from that workshop. So there is one of the pages of layouts. This one is definitely, see if I can get it on the camera there. This is from the company. This is the layout that they proposed. So I did go with that before the camera crashed. So there you go. This is when my husband and I were buying all the plants that we have in our new backyard. So there's that. And here's another page that I just kind of did my thing. This was a paper that was really busy, so I kind of wanted it to fade to the background. And I brought in that stamp set again. That's gonna drive me crazy, just a minute. Spotlight on Nature, there we go. Came to me as I went to go look in my little bucket for it. So these flowers are from the scrapbook workshop. This is just a stamp I had that I just put like a little rhinestone in there for the ring. And there you go. That, interestingly enough, is from my first marriage. But for my kids, I wanted to make sure that they had that history. So, going back to this, that is the Lovely Florals, and I use the Lovely Florals workshop. Now let's look at Spooky Sweet Specialty Paper. And what I did here is, how can I start this subject? We didn't usually separate, when I was raising my kids, we didn't celebrate, Halloween. We did fall, we did everything non-spooky. I have a husband absolutely he finds great joy in Halloween and Christmas. He's just a big kid at heart. I love him to pieces. Anyways, this is something that I made with, this kit has 2 sheets of punch outs, and that's what these are. This is Timid Tiger, the new ribbon that came out just recently. And these are the banners that I use. These are called party banners. And I came in and cut out each one of these. This paper right here is from Adventure something or other. It's a workshop that's out, that's in the annual catalog. These right here, these are like puffy stars, and they were from this workshop, if I'm not mistaken. Again, this will all be online. So what I'm gonna do with this is every season I hang something from my front door, and there's a basket that I have in there, and I'm gonna attach this to the front of the basket. And my husband has his fog machine ready to go. He's gonna dress up like a scarecrow. Don't know what I'm gonna dress up as, but if you'd all like to help me decide, that would be great. So let's stack these back up. All right, I think that does it for that. So let's move on. All right, the front of the catalog. Table of contents is here. If you don't want to flip through all of it trying to find something, go over here on the screen. Just go in there and it's easy to find. Or you can go to the table of contents in the back. Actually, not the table of contents, you know what I mean, in the back where you can find everything. This is the fundraising one that we're doing this time around, and it's a dedication to help raise funds for breast cancer awareness. And we'll just leave it at the fact that I'll just say it's something very dear to my heart. So a percentage of buying this stamp goes towards that. Then over on here, I thought this was interesting and very handy. I've already put this on my calendar. During the season, so this catalog is good from September through December, And these are occasions to give, or, give a card, or definitely mark down on your calendar. So it's Grandparents' Day, National Coffee Day, Teachers' Day, seasonal fundraisers, Thanksgiving, National Neighbor Day. That's important to me because we're a new neighborhood and I like to get to know everyone here. Hanukkah, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. So those are good dates to remember. These are just the kit collections that you can get right now, and I happen to have a soft place in my heart for nutcrackers, so I like that. I love this with the red truck. And then this is a wreath that you can make, and it comes with everything you need, and it's very large. So when you have your catalog, look through it and just take note of how big it is. Now these first, I think 3 or 4 pages are scrapbook workshops. So we're going to talk about this in a little while, but here is the workshop version. And you'll notice here that you get your punch outs. You get, let me see if I can bring this up. You get, these are your stickers. So if you are someone who does daily December documented, those types of books for the holiday season, these are really good because you have the numbers all, 1 through 24 there, and there's a 25 somewhere on here. It's like a stamp, or I've seen 25 somewhere, but here is the paper, and we're going to talk about that more when we get to it. Now, back up here for just a minute. Just remember when you order these workshops that there are a couple papers in each of these workshops that are exclusive to them. They're one-sided, but the only way that you can get them is through a workshop. And each of the workshop comes with complete directions, unless you're like me and go off script, as I call it. Here's another one we'll talk about a little bit later. Down in this right-hand corner, you're going to see, again, your punch-outs here and your stickers. And it's really pretty collection. It's in blues and can be used, gosh, for so many things. It can be used for, I did mine in a sympathy. You could do this in Hanukkah, use the blue and the silver. It would be a beautiful Hanukkah card. Okay, then we have this. These are some 4x6 and 3x4 cards to make very, simple cards with, or you can use it in your pocket cards. And I have made some samples. Let me see if I can pull them out. Over here to my right, there is one right there. And this one, as always, Stampin' Up! Tells us when you purchase these, what color is in this particular card so we can match everything up. So this was, did I write it here? Cherry Cobbler. I have always wanted to name it something else. And then I took some gold embossing, some heat embossing here, and did that. These were a couple dots from last year that I've put in here. This was ribbon from last year also, but I liked that it matches with the paper and it has a gold line in it. And this is one of the cards here. In fact, you'll see it right here in the catalog. So that is that. I don't have a back on this yet, but I think that's really kind of, an elegant card. I really like that one. And pretty simple. I did pop this up, I don't know if you can see the dimension there, on some foam tape. So there's that one. And there are quite a few in there. It's 54 double-sided cards. 6 each of 6 3x4s and 6 each of 4x6. So imagine how many cards you could do with that, and you could have, make a card in probably 15 minutes if you've got an assembly line going. Then on this page of the catalog, I always love that they're doing this. Here are samples of cards, tags, and scrapbook pages. So if you're concerned or, you feel like the artistic part is not in your brain right now and you don't want to think about what to do, just follow these along. And then most of the time when you get into something, you're going to be able to take off from there and add your touch to it. But these are good starting points. And turn this over. These are the 12 by 12 sheet, or not 12 by 12 sheets. These are the 6 by 6 sheets. And here I have this and a very simple card. I did bring in some white ribbon here and stuck it under here. If I were to do it again, I would just do a simple piece of white cardstock there. The ribbon kind of got a little uneven. Here I've done some heat embossing again on this ornament, and you will see that these are punch outs here. So again, it makes it very simple to get some cards done really quickly. And I brought in some red and white baker's twine that I had, and just glued up this holly. That's, yeah, holly. Yes, holly berries, excuse me. And here we have some little gleamy dots that are rhinestone dots that are in the collection in this book somewhere. Now here are those, let me go back to, I'm gonna find the sample. This right here, I can get on screen. We were talking about these and how they come in a big old collection. That are these, and they're so easy to overlook in the catalog. They're called Greetings for You Mix and Mash Ephemera Pack. And if you want to, you could just go into Stampin' Up, go through my site, and there you can just punch in those words and it'll bring it right up, and you get a lot. I mean, look at that. And I think are there 6 sheets? 2 each of 3 designs. And what's nice is they are labels. So it's a heavier material with labeling product on the back of it. And I've just punched out some there that I've been using. And I've kept this little, I keep these that are my dies come in. And this is where I put all my little die cuts that, you know, the company has things like this all the time. So hang on to these if, you know, you get rid of it. When I get a stamp and I get a die, I combine them. So this allows me to have a lot of these extra. Moving on. I did not get any of these, but I've sure seen some beautiful, beautiful pieces that people have made. I happen to love this, and I love the size of it. Again, I think heat embossed would be incredible. Again, I just have several things that say Merry Christmas, so I chose to pass on that this year. But this one was done recently. I believe I saw it on black with, I think it was silver embossing, heat embossing. Just stunning. And again, some of the papers we already looked at, but I did not get any of these. But look, tags there. What you could do is some stamping. This one I also did not get, but I mean, look at this. You could use this year round. I love the texture dot on here, and I love anything that looks like a watercolor finish. So add that to your collection. I wish I had now. Maybe I'll go back and get that one. This one I did not order also, but you can see how they're layering up the papers that we've already looked at. And it would make it really simple just to make a quick card. This one's great too. It can be used year round. You have a bear here, a deer, a sled, trees, a little cabin or a house, and a tree with no leaves. This is a great hostess gift in my opinion. This is a box that comes like this where it has separations in it. There are tags in here, there's some ribbon, there's some sequins, just a great little hostess gift. So this one I don't think is gonna last long. I think it's gonna be gone before we know it. So if I were you, I'd order this and get it put away, and that way you're ready to go for all the parties that you attend in December or even November. Okay, this I do have, although I haven't used it yet. And then this wreath is an embossed wreath, and it's very large. It's probably, you're gonna have to use like a 5x7 card with this one. I've also seen it used where people use this, hopefully you can see on there. There you go. Where they've embossed it and they used half of it on a card and then did something else that joins it on the bottom. So just trust me on it, I guess you could say. The other thing you can do is on the two-tone paper that we now have is you can take this, emboss it, and then take a light sanding to the top, and it'll expose all the white pieces underneath. Really a great look. These are some sequins I've talked about on some of the items that I've already made, and also have this ribbon, a red ribbon, although I haven't used it on my samples yet. Now let's talk about this paper. I hesitated in ordering this paper. The reason being is, I guess I'm not a very traditional, and they actually call this, I think it's traditional Christmas. Let me see what, Traditions of Christmas. I like the back sides of the paper, and I thought, oh, I could use those anytime. So that's kind of what sold me on it. But I didn't necessarily care for the pink in here. And I had never done this before. And here's the card. This is the traditional, well, this is all basically the traditional Christmas paper. I didn't care for the pink on the ribbon there. So I took my Stampin' Blend markers and came in with a garden green and went over the pink, and it worked beautifully. And I had to, because I didn't order the dies because I was unsure of what I was going to do with this. So I had to fussy cut this, and I can honestly say I'm probably one of the worst fussy cutters there are. It's just not my jam. So I am going to go back and order the stamp now, or excuse me, the stamp and die set and use it. This I cut out of, I think this comes with this. Somewhere I have these, you know, the pine needles, etc. And I punched them out of the gold, did a die cutting, and then this is a new frame, and I'm sure we'll come to it. And I've layered these up. So really like how this turned out. Here are the sequins again. And here are the stamps or the die cuts that have the adhesive on the back of them that we've already talked about. Those are right here, and I've popped those up along with the flowers. Hopefully you can see that. On some foam dots. No back on it yet. But I think it turned out pretty good for, you know, something that I was kind of shying away from because I tend to like things a little bit more modern. But I think it turned out good. It doesn't look terribly traditional. So there you go. Good experiment for me, knowing that I can go back and do things with the paper. Here is the flower where you can see with the stamp. Obviously you can use it year-round when you have the stamp, and what it looks like here with, you know, a banner across it, and here you have a whole bundle of flowers. And here's that wreath that we talked about, that if you wanted to use it on an A2 card, here it's like a 5x7 card where you can see the whole thing. But you can see how you could kind of cut it down and use half of it and do some fun stuff with it. Here are just some pictures of projects that you might like to do. Let me get this out of the way. A lot of good examples. What I failed to mention too, is I should mention it here, is the die in this set goes back and you can cut out these flowers within the DSP, Designer Series paper is what that stands for. You can cut the paper out with that die. And, okay, here's the animal set that I kind of alluded to earlier. And again, I'm normally not like a cutesy paper person, but I think I've mentioned it before, is that my husband and I have been doing a thing called Trusted House Sitters. And we've been traveling across the country, and soon we'll be in Florida for quite a while to watch people's houses and their animals for them. So it's kind of a great way for us to travel and be able to do it inexpensively. So it's nice, and it gives us a place to stay for free, basically. If you want to know more about that, let me know. I should probably put a link in all these, so I talk about it quite a bit. So in watching those pets, we've gotten to know a lot of our furry friends and their owners this last year. So I wanted to have this to send them a little something for their animals slash them. Or I thought this would be a good collection to send to some groomers or a vet maybe that has meant a lot to you and your family. So I invested in this whole set. And let me show you one thing I made. This is a little box that you can make, and it's big enough to hold, I believe, I haven't really measured it up, but to hold a gift card in here. I hope it's big enough. If not, there's all kinds of things you could put in here. And then this is a stamp that came from that set. These are the sequin gems. Then in this set, let me show you here. There are 2 sets of punch outs right here. And then this right here makes the box that I had just shown to you. So very simple. You run it through your die cutting machine and this is what it comes out to. All of the folding lines are all embossed for you. And then here you have a tab to open and close the box. And you can use a heart here, you can use a circle, and then there's one other thing, a star. And then I had a little boo-boo here. So I took one of the die cuts, the punch outs, and put here. But I just thought that was so cute. So I'll be sending these out to the families that we've met this year and to their little furry friends. So, and then if you're not, necessarily want to use the animal portion of it, look at the back sides of these papers. I think they're all really pretty. If you get a chance, you can order my paper sample again and see all those papers. So I have that full set. Here's some more of those samples. Look how cute. Love it. Here you can see some of those boxes. And here we have the blue paper, which is called, what are they calling this? Peaceful Garden. And I've been playing with this quite a bit, but the only thing I really haven't gotten to yet is there is an embossing folder. Where is it on this? Right here. I haven't used this yet, but I'll show you what I have come up with. Bear with me, I'm over here in my samples. So here's the card that I did make, and these doves are just so pretty in this set. And that is in the Stampin' Die bundle. And then I put actually, can you hear that? I have a little magnet in here. So it's a peekaboo window. So here you can see this. And then you open it here where you could put whatever you would like to in there. And again, I'll have this all mentioned over on my website. Each day will list one of these cards. So the paper is just so pretty in this collection. I love how they've framed this piece. I think that would be really pretty to put like in memory of someone, to put this in here, possibly their picture, and do it up like that. I think it's beautiful. So there is that. This is one of the papers. It's called Lights of Aurora, which we were actually able to see this last year in Washington. It was pretty amazing. This is on order and I haven't received it yet. So I'm looking forward to using it. If you're a scrapbooker like I am a lot, then these words are nice and big that you can use them on your scrapbook pages. These silhouettes over here are just stunning. So people are using these silhouettes, kind of like making them in black or a dark blue, and then putting these papers behind them. So it looks like, when you go into the woods and where it's dark to go see the lights of Aurora, then you'll see that there. It looks just like it. It's really pretty. And these are 6x6 papers. Now here is one of my favorites. Autumn Toile. I've seen a lot of people struggling with the name toile, and having been doing interior design for many years, a lot of people get stuck on that word, but it is toile. It's a French word, apparently, like I know French. But That's what all our manufacturers tell us. So let's talk about those. So here's our first card. I'll get that out of the way. And this paper and all the papers are from that collection, with the exception of, obviously, this is the very vanilla paper here. And I have come in with gold embossing, heat embossing powder, and used those acorns, which is from that set here. So I'll get the glare off of that. So that opens up, and look at that. So if you don't have enough room there, then you can flip that over and you can write something there. And I've got something right there, over the grateful for you. But this is a pretty fun card, isn't it? It's a lot of wow. So that just folds up like that. Obviously, you'll need some extra postage with this one because it's a little thick, but this toile is just so pretty on the front. And in this, I like how I've got the dark brown in the back. I think it really makes everything pop off of that dark color. So there's that. I like that one. Then this one was a labor of love, which I really enjoyed. Here again, you have the same stamp. I've gone in with my Stampin' Blends and did this. I did some Wink of Stella on top of the acorns. And here there's a stamp that comes with this, or a die. I have cut this out of fun foam with a sticker on the back of it. So you've got quite a bit of dimension. Let's see if I can kind of get it there. You can see that. And I did that on Very Vanilla also. And then there is, let me see. Yep. This is a new metallic paper. What do they call that? Earthen toned metallic. And I've had a lot of fun with that. And I ran a strip of this down here and behind here. And I took this ribbon from, I think it was last year, and tied a bow. I just thought it worked really well with all of these kind of earth tones, fall season. And I've used some of the gems from this fall collection in here. And no back to it yet. But I really enjoyed making this card. I think it's pretty special. So there's that one. So the toile just says fall. The colors that Stampin' Up! Chose are just beautiful. I also have this stamp, and you'll see things coming with that. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I believe I'll be using this on a scrapbook page. And here's just some more pictures of how they've used it. Here it shows you a one-sheet wonder. So if you're trying to get the most bang for your buck out of your paper, this shows you how to cut it, and it makes all of these different cards here. So just one sheet will give you all this look. So this is a good page to look at, and you could use this with just about any paper that you come across. Just save this and use this for the cutting instructions. Just remember that it's 12 by 12. So even though it doesn't tell you the size, you can pretty much figure out that obviously 3 by 4 or 4, you can figure it out. So let's see, 3 by 4 for 8. There you go. You can figure that out. This I'm very intrigued with. I haven't seen anyone make anything like this, but I'd like to know how to do this. So if anyone has the directions for that, I would love to know, or watch it be made in a video. Oh, well, just a minute. We did not get it all. Bear with me. Here we have a squirrel punch, which is really fun, especially if, you know, a lot of us are, especially us who are in the art industry, tend to be very scattered at times, should I say. This is perfect for us. I should hang one up in front of myself when I'm making a video, but I thought they were cute. I didn't order that at this time, but you know what? It might find its way into my art studio. Here are the dies that we talked about earlier that I'd made a card with, and they're stacked dies. So let me pull that out. I think I have it handy. It's just one of those, of course it's not there. I don't have it right handy, but you can see how this is stacked, how many dies are in here. There are 10 dies. So something like this is kind of a must for anyone who's a card maker, any paper crafter. This is a wonderful set to have. This is where those pines came from that was showing on another card. So this is really a good investment. And here are some dies with these specific words on them. Again, I had quite a few of these, so I did not order this. I also did not order this because I had quite a few sentiments already for Christmas. Now here we are dealing with the snowflakes. Remember I told you in the online exclusive, I believe it was, there was another snowflake. It was in the like green collection, like the spruce colors, that collection. This is another one that comes with, if you order it all, you can get Stampin' Dies. So Stampin' Dies down here, stamps here. And then there's also a stenciling set or a masking set, whatever they would like to call that. You can go by either name, but the company calls it masks. And I wanted to show you a couple things. This one right here, I was able to make. This is paper that is from my own collection. This I've had forever and I've been wanting to use it up. So I have done that. The gold paper, silver glitter paper is one that's out this year in the catalog. And so I layered up the dies to make this border here. Then I laid this out and used one of my stamps. I'm not sure, it's from one of these Stamps and Dies, but A Winter Wish for Snowy Delights. Actually, I think it's from this one. Yes, it's from this collection. The other ones on here say, with family, friends, and long, peaceful nights. And the other one says, sending you joy and many delights. And then there's a warm hello, joy to the world. So those sentiments are in this collection, but I was able to get that done there. Kind of like how that turned out. So there's that. Then this one, I was trying to recreate something like they had here, very generally. So I decided to come in with strawberry slush and do something fun with it. I also think this would be fun if you took this and cut it down slightly and did another border white on it. I did here some heat embossing with this is stamp that's in the set. I did that. This I did, and I used the masks, and I used two different colors. I used strawberry slush, and I also used real red, and mixed them together to get where I wanted to go. Then I double cut out this border, and I just cut this in half and put the other half here, and there you go. And then just that on the inside. It was a fun one to make. And then one last simple one, and just made this really quickly, like if you wanted a real quick card, did some more heat embossing. This is on Night of Navy. And here's what the what the inside looks like. And this is ribbon, I believe, from last year also. Just was sitting next to me at my desk and put that on there. And then I wanted to mess around and put some of my sparkly stuff on it. And I've done this, and I haven't put this together, obviously, but I don't know if you can kind of see the sparkles. Let's see. So I did my masking and my inking up, and then I came through and took my palette knife and just smeared this on here through the stencil after I had washed it off from doing my stenciling. So that's what I ended up with. And I think it's kind of fun. I think it'd be really festive for Christmas. It'd be nice maybe if you even put like 3 or 4 of these together, and because it would make it stiffer, and then you could even hang it from a Christmas tree. It'd be kind of fun. So I was experimenting with that last night. And I think that, let me make sure, because last time I, didn't tell you. This is cute. I almost got this. I might go back because, again, cooking with my granddaughter, this might be fun to have. And then you can see here, it actually makes a card too, if you'd like. Flipping this over, I did not order this one, but you can see it looks like hand-drawn artwork there, which is fun. This one I do have, and I'm gonna make a scrapbook page with it because we gave an ugly sweater party, oh gosh, probably 5 years ago. And it was really fun party. So I'm going to use all of these on that. So look forward to seeing that soon on the my YouTube channel. This I do have, and I hesitated at first, but I loved how what it is an embossing folder. Then you have a die that you then lay on top of it, and it cuts it all out. And it's a great way then if you wanted to, again, you could ink this up really easily. You could do some of the sanding on top of it and expose different colors of paper, the white from different colors of paper. That is two-tone. So it's a really quick way of getting sentiments if you're trying to do a bunch of Christmas cards. So I like that idea. I did not order the tags because I had quite a few of them. Here is a nice wreath that could be good any time of year. Just add some more flowers to it. You can see how you can double it up here. Don't have that one. I did not order this either. And this I will be going back and ordering. I don't know why I didn't in the first place because I'm originally a California girl. So this is going to be perfect for me. And then these large words are going to be perfect for scrapbook pages. So look for that to show back up on my channel. And this is, oh, I had it when I was flipping through this catalog earlier. This is a tropical flower. And I had the name earlier, but I used to use this in some designs. But anyway, Protea, I think that's it, Protea. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't get this one, but certainly would be appropriate on some tropical pages. And here you also have some tropical flowers. So again, if you have the hibiscus set in your collection that was out this last year, this would be a great addition to that to go on to any tropical pages. And I think we have it. Here is your index. So if you heard me say something and you're wondering where it is, just look in the back of your catalog. And just so you all get on screen here, that's what I'm referring to there, is in the back of the catalog. If you ordered $60 or more with me throughout the season, then you did receive a catalog from me, or it should be coming any day now. And just keep that in mind. And then always look on my website. Once you order a certain amount from me within a 5-year period, there's a form to fill out, and then I send you $50 worth of free product. So look at that. You can download that form on my website. It's always at the bottom of every page. So there is that. Paper pumpkin, obviously you know I like those. I used some of those on my cards this year. And so there you go. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Let me flip back over here. Here I am again. Don't hesitate to ask, please. I love to hear your comments down below, and I apologize for being gone so long, but I appreciate your patience while I'm healing, and I'm on the mend. That's really good news. I'm really excited about that. So looking forward to crafting a lot and reaching out and spending some time with all of you. So until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.